All right, let's continue. This is part of the second part of the class. Let's continue with past participle verbs. Past participle of teach. So it's taught, not teach, taught. Continue. Some other past participle verbs of swim. The past participle of swim, swam. Past participle of taken. Take, take. All right, past participle of get. Right, past participle of get, got. Okay, no. All right, past participle of no, none. Continue, we have 5 left. Understand. Past participle of understand. Past participle of understand, understood. Past participle of stick. So past participle of stick, stuck. Have. hat. No? Past participle of have, hat. Past participle of write. Write. Past participle of write, writing. And finally, past participle of go. It's gone. Sorry, this is a mistake. Past participle of go, gone. All right, so now we're gonna take a look to an speaking exercise of the present perfect. So let's see, something dangerous you have done. Please remember, something dangerous you have done. So it could be anything. For example, remember present perfect, subject, have, and then the past participle. I have tried. I'm not sure how you spell this, but I believe it's like this. Bungee jump. Let me check just in case. Oh, it's double E. Bungee. And it's with G. Bungee jumping. All right. All right, next one. Okay, the best worst drink you have ever had. Let's do both. The best drink I have ever had. I have had I'm not sure where this is from. I think it was British, or maybe no, it wasn't British. But let's say British. I don't remember what it was. I have had a British, no, Scotland. This is Scotland coffee. Very delicious. I believe so. It was from Scotland and it had milk, it had a liquid, it had some cream and a dash of cinnamon. It's very delicious. And the worst, I don't like instant coffee. So for me, it will be the worst drink I have had is instant coffee. ¿Qué es el peor? Sí, pues. So in my opinion, the worst drink I have had is instant coffee. And the best would have been this. I believe it was maybe British or maybe, I don't know, but it was somewhere from Europe, but it was very delicious. The nicest compliment you have ever had. The nicest compliment. Something nice someone ever told you to you. So the nicest compliment I have ever had is, it can be anything. You have beautiful hair. What is it? I don't remember. All right, you think about the best or the nicest compliment you have ever had. That's it. A concert you have been to recently. Well, I'm not sure it was a concert, but I have had, or I had been, sorry, to, I guess, couple concerts or a year, or I have attended to, no, it's the same. Next, something you have decided to do recently. So this is a decision, something, no, you have to make something you have decided to do recently. I have had to, I have decided to change jobs, to start the gym, or it could be anything, right? So anything, any decision you have to do recently. So I have decided to, you can go and then explain whatever it is. Any new words you have learned today? So I have learned how to spell, quote, bungee jumping, because I believe it was a J and with just one E. So that's what I thought. What about you? So next, something you've dreamed about recently. So we can start with, I remember we can also use contractions. We should use contractions in informal conversation. So I dreamed about traveling to Argentina. Or I dreamed about going to a warmer place in winter time. And again, this could be anything. This is a really open question. Something you dream about recently. You dream about working less. Or you dream about sleeping late on weekdays. No? So it could be anything, to be honest. To the next one. A book you have enjoyed reading. So you can start with I've enjoyed, and then the name of the book. I've enjoyed reading, and then whatever it is, quote it. For me, it's been, I don't remember the exact name of the book, but it could be anything, right? So you just put it here. Or maybe you haven't been reading anything. You can say the contraction if it's negative. I haven't read anything. Or maybe haven't enjoyed whatever name of the book is. Late. No, you haven't enjoyed reading, so for negative statements too. Okay, next. All right, something delicious you have eaten this week. Again, from a conversation contraction, I've eaten delicious. That's a joke. I don't know. A delicious barbecue. Or it could be anything, right? Or maybe you haven't. No? I haven't eaten negative and any delicious. Or anything delicious this week. Next. Last person you have called. In contractions, I called my husband. Or I've called my mom. I called my sister. I called my best friend. Anything, right? Something you have given up. Again, contractions. So giving up is related to quitting something, right? So usually people try to give up smoking or maybe drinking or partying or procrastinating. Might go really be anything, but something that you stopped doing at all matter. Giving up. A movie series you have watched recently, quite easy too. All right. Watched recently. That can could it be? I don't really watch TV, so you can fill these with whatever you would like. All right, let's continue. A beautiful place you visit. Again, contraction. I visit. For me, it was Minsk. It's a really beautiful town in Cochabamba. But it could be anywhere. I remember you mentioned some cool places in Santa Cruz. It was Orongo, I believe, and some others. So I visit, and then you can mention the place. Next, sport or instrument you have played. I also believe you mentioned you play a lot of sports, so this will be easy for you to feel. I played, and you feel it, whatever it is, right? And then you can mention here recently or lately or often. Any adverb of frequency that is showing how often you did it. No? That's all. So something you have successfully completed recently. Something you have successfully completed recently. So I successfully, because it's an adjective goes before the verb, right? Successfully completed whatever it is for you. It could be a webinar, could be a class, could be a project, could be your degree, my whatever degree is, or my could be your master's, your PhD, no, whatever it is. an item of clothing you've been wearing for more than 2 years? Okay. So I believe this will be an easy question for everyone at the moment, since we've the last couple of years we were in the quarantine and the pandemic started. So I've been wearing could be anything, no? Jeans, shirt, hoodie, yoga pants, shorts, suit, tie, coat, honestly anything. Like a hat, sweater, a jacket now that it's going to be cold, a coat, and something you haven't done in your lifetime. So here you have to remember your budget, sorry, your what is it called? The list of the things you haven't. There is a specific name. Your bucket list. Is it like this? Let's just spell like this: BUCKET. Bucket list. This is some things that you have in mind that you will like to do at some point in your life. For example, this is the opposite, right? But usually bucket list, it's right in this. So I haven't traveled to the Patagonia yet. And we use yet because it's a negative statement, because it means like not until now, right? And it's important in negative statement. So I haven't, or what you haven't done. I haven't, it could be practice anything, or it could be you haven't tried yet, you haven't yet, you haven't maybe bought, I don't know, a motorcycle. Motorcycle yet, no, this yet is important. So again, it could be anything. Something strange you have eaten. Again, contraction. I've eaten bunny, or it could be goat or yam. All right, so no, it could be something strange, something like seafood. Okay, and now let's see the last one. So at present, you have given someone recently. Again, I've given, be anything, right? I've given flowers, chocolate, we've given, I don't know, book, whatever. So let's just play a game to see the difference between present perfect and present perfect continuous. So it's going to take a moment. Kahoot is always a little bit slow, but let's please take some or have some patience. So just so you remember, while this is charging, oh, sorry, it's this. However, I'm gonna show you the presentation so you can remember a little bit. Oh, it's loading anyways. All right, so we're going to start with this game. I'm loading. Oh, I'm putting the code. Otherwise, we can't check the game. All right, so let's start. We're going to see the present perfect and present perfect continuous. They're very similar, however, the uses are quite different. First one, it's a question. What have you? All right, so this was just a present perfect tense question, right? What have you done lately? So what have you done lately? I've worked a lot. I've practiced a lot of sports. I've been sleeping a lot. No, whatever it is. Present perfect. Next one. What have you? All right, so this is continuous, right? What have you been doing since I saw you last? I've been, remember the contraction here. Been, and then we have to use a verb ending in ing. So I've been working a lot. I've been eating a lot, sleeping a lot, anything, right? Driving a lot, traveling a lot. So it's honestly anything. But remember, we end in ing, the verb, right? Next. Next, I've been going to a pottery class. So it's since. I've been going to pottery class since January. Pottery is anything related to creating things with I don't know, stoneware or like porcelain. No, anything that you can create with your hands or any tools. Next one. Another question. What have you been up to? Right, so recently, right? What have you been up to recently? This is continuous, present perfect continuous tense, no? So I've been um, working a lot. I've been working recently. No, so I've been. No, it could be anything. Traveling. That's sorry. Next. What have you been? All right, so it's doing, right? What have you been doing recently? Remember, we use the ing form after being in the present continuous. So what have you been doing recently? Again, I've been working a lot. I've been doing a lot of exercise. I've been practicing this. I've been traveling, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen my cousins. Or to, in, or since. All right, so I haven't seen my cousins in years. That's an amount of time in years. Another question, how long have you been? All right, so studying. How long have you been studying English? I'm studying English for the last, could be 10 years, 3 years, 2 years, 6 months, 2 months. No? Okay, a question, have you ever? All right, so have you ever visited? Just present perfect tense, no? Yes or no? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. I've known Ramon. Since. I've known Ramon since, and we describe the time, no? Since 2010, since high school, since I got married, any event, no? That marked that. I haven't done my homework. Again, remember we use yet at the end of the sentence when it didn't happen yet, right? Next, we so we still haven't done our quizzes. Next. Okay, I've been or I have been studying. So for, I have been studying for 2 hours. Next, have you? Right, have you been seeing someone lately? So it's until the moment. And yes, I have. No, I haven't. Next, he. All right, so he hasn't seen his favorite actor yet. He hasn't seen his favorite actor Yeah. And finally, how long? All right, so how long has your dad been working here? We're talking about non-specific situation. Why has? Because that, right? It's a he. All right, so that was the game, and now let's really quick take a look to this speaking exercise. Um, to see the difference between present perfect and present perfect continuous. All right, um, so we're gonna have some cards, and we're going to see if we can recognize if it's present, perfect simple, or continuous. So the first exercise goes, you learn something new for the last few weeks. So you learn something new for the last few weeks. So obviously in both situations, this is either present perfect or present continuous. We start with I. The only difference is if we go being plus the verb in ing, or we just go I and then the past participle, right? So because it's the last few weeks, and I suppose it implies also now, so it will be being, no? I been working on a project. It could be a project, or it could be I been and I been taking a new class, or it could really honestly be anything, right? Now let's take a look to another example. So anyone help? Have you not you a lot in the last few weeks? So it's a question, present perfect or present continuous. So we start with have. Have anyone? Has anyone? Has anyone? Has because it's a it, right? Has anyone help you in the last few weeks? Has anyone helped you a lot in the last few weeks? Or has anyone helping you in the last few weeks? Right? Present perfect, I believe it's the best option. Next. You work overtime a lot recently. Have you been working? Present perfect continuous will be, right? Recently. Have you been working overtime a lot recently? Have you been working? If not, it will be have you worked overtime? But no, have you been working? Let's continue. Let's see some more. you substitute for someone in the last few weeks? Um, have you, it's a one-time action, so have you substitute someone in the last few weeks? Hmm? Have you? And then the past participle, right? Okay, the next one, you look forward for something new recently. So have you been looking for to something new recently, right? So have you been looking forward to something new recently? Remember question, uppercase, right? And don't forget the question mark at the end. So have you been looking forward to something new recently? Next. You see someone online recently, who is he? This is also a situation that could be continuously been happening. So will be, have you been seeing someone online recently? Who is she or he? Have you been seeing, no? Online, sorry. All right. Next. You tried to cut down on any food recently. What kind of food? Have you been have you tried? No? Have you tried to cut down on any food recently? What kind of food have you tried? Have you been trying? It could also be correct because this is something that could happen more than once, right? Recently. So can you think of anything that you've tried? That so it could be anything, right? I've tried to cut down sugar, or try to cut down carbs, or I've tried to cut down snacks or sweet snacks or fries. No, it could be anything. Let's see a couple more. You work in the same position in your job all the time. All right, so you work in the same position should be, have you been working in the same position in your job all the time? Have you been working? You can say yes, I have, or no, I haven't, or I have different tasks in the last few months, or I've been changing positions for the last 2 years. No? So obviously this is an open type of question because we can give a lot of information. So you save money or anything in the last few weeks, months, years? Again, have you saved money in the last few months, let's say? And you can go, yes, I have saved some money, or no, I couldn't, or I haven't saved any money. I've been I've been buying a lot of things. So no, we can answer in many different ways. Remember, we shouldn't just say yes or no. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. We should give a little bit more of information, right? Because the point here is to try to create interaction with other people, and also we should answer something back. No? Have you saved? Well, yes, I could say I've been doing great the last few months. What about you? No, it's a proper way to make a following question. Following up. All right, so that will be it for today's class. Hopefully this review help you to understand the difference between these topics. We've seen this a while ago, but I wanted to review it a little bit. Also the last topic, which wasn't very easy. However, it was important not to review. So that will be it for today's class. Thank you very much and see you on Monday.